This is my Aunt Jane. Do what she tells you.
Oh.
It's that time of year, time to bake the Christmas cookies. So we thought we would invite you in to our kitchen so that you can watch us bake. Now, these are not just any ordinary Christmas cookies. These are gluten-free Christmas cookies. Now, my aunt has really perfected gluten-free baking. So I asked her to share with me a couple of the recipes that she makes around this time of year. And one of those recipes is my grandma's molasses cookie recipe. So she is going to take a family favorite and she is going to make it gluten-free because in our family we have people that have celiacs, we have people that have gluten intolerance. And so in order to enjoy these family favorites, we have to alter the recipe. So really pay attention as to how she's going to do that for us today, all right? So let's get started. What do we do on the gluten-free cookie?
So today we're going to get started. It's a very simple one-pot recipe, and it's a molasses raisin. You can eliminate the raisins if you prefer, but we're going to use the raisins today. So the first thing we're going to do is we have our shortening base, and I'm going to melt this in a heavy saucepan, slowly over a low heat.
Did I even turn on the oven? I didn't turn on the stove. You guys, sorry, peeps. This is real life. So, all right. We'll get that going. Good thing it's a small kitchen. I can just reach over.
While that is melting, I'm going to measure out 1/4 cup of molasses. And I do use this molasses in the yellow jar. There's one that is in the green jar, and it's much stronger. So I like to use the molasses in the yellow jar. And as soon as the shortening melts, we're going to let that cool for just a few minutes. Then we're going to add the molasses and the sugar that we have measured out here. If you want to make this an even healthier recipe, you can take the sugar and do half swerve or Truvia and half organic sugar. And then that will go into the pot with the shortening, the molasses, and then we're going to add a slightly beaten egg to that. Then we're going to...
I get to do some work, right?
Sift your dry ingredients together.
All right.
And what we've done here today is we have used all gluten-free flour.
Right here, you guys, there's so many on the market. I mean, we are not without help when it comes to gluten-free baking. You know, these are the different brands that we have here today. But, I mean, there's so many out there to choose from.
And you get really good results from any of the brands. Bob's Red Mill is a good brand as well. And so is King Arthur's gluten-free flour. So you're just going to put all the dry ingredients here, and then you're going to add your spices.
My spices? Okay.
We're putting in some baking soda. We are adding our spices, salt, ginger, ground cloves, and cinnamon. And we're just going to put that all in here and get it through the sifter.
Yum, yum, yum. I love it. This already smells amazing, and we're not even in the oven yet.
So we're at the stove, we're melting our shortening. Now the original recipe calls for Crisco. Today we're making a healthier version, so I've substituted coconut oil. And it's just about totally melted. We're going to let this cool for just a minute or two, then we're going to add the sugar and the molasses.
Okay.
Very important tip. We have a beaten egg that we're going to add to this. If this is not cool enough, when you put your egg in there, it's going to cook and you're going to have scrambled eggs in your cookie dough. So you want to make sure that this oil is cool enough that you're not going to cook your eggs. So we've got the coconut oil that has melted, it's liquefied. We have sugar, molasses, and we have a beaten egg. When this is cooled down enough, we're going to add the sugar. And in order to make the recipe a little healthier, you can add half swerve, half organic sugar if you would prefer. So we're just going to add the sugar to the oil, and we're going to add the molasses to that. And by the way, this is the best handy dandy little gadget ever.
It is, I love it.
I measured the coconut oil in here first, and when you do that, then the molasses will slide out easier as well. Now again, you don't want to add the egg to this too soon. If you're in a hurry, I have a trick for you. You can take some of this oil and sugar mixture. You can add it to the egg to temper it.
And that keeps it from scrambling on you.
From cooking, right.
Very nice.
And then you're very slowly going to add this in. And you're going to beat it quickly.
Do you need a whisk?
No, this is fine.
That?
This is fine. You just want to make sure that your egg is not cooking in your mixture here. So you're just adding a little bit at a time.
Now again, in our recipe, we are using sugar, we are using molasses. These are going to be very sweet cookies. I just want to tell you right now, a lot of times we get caught up on gluten-free and we think that that label means that it's healthy. And while it can be healthy because we're using the coconut oil, you can limit the sugar, you can do things like that, you use your flours, but it's not going to take the calories out of the cookie. Just because it's a gluten-free cookie and we're using healthy ingredients doesn't mean you can eat 12 of them in one sitting.
I probably could.
I know, you could eat them, but it is still calories in, calories out. You're still loading up on calories. These flours are loaded with carbs. A lot of them are rice flours that cook the best.
The next thing I'm going to do here before we add our flour, if you like raisins, you will be using the golden raisins. We happen to like raisins, so I don't measure these. That looks good. So it's your preference, however many you would like to use, but again, it's the golden raisins and it's in the yellow box. And I'm just going to mix that up. Okay, Melissa, the next job is yours. You can add in the dry ingredients, and if you would like, you can use your hand mixer to mix these in, or you can just use a wooden spoon.
Okay.
However you want to incorporate that.
Let's do a wooden spoon. I like wooden spoons. I just love them. Do you just do it a little bit at a time, or
mix it all together?
Okay, all right. Get my spices. I got to get the spices.
Get your spices. Yep.
Mixed through there. Perfect.
And I'll remove this.
Okay. And then we just kind of put it in there.
Right.
All right.
Just stir it.
Can I just dump it all in?
How's about if I do that?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing. I've had this recipe for a couple of years, and I'm just making it right now for the first time, the molasses cookie recipe. And it's such an honor to make one of my grandma's recipes that she only used to make around Christmas time.
That's right.
Yeah, and then to be able to bring it and share it with you guys, this healthy way, this different way of making it. And again, you can do this with any family recipe you have, you know, especially if your kiddos have a problem with the gluten, they still want to have cookies. And it's so much better to make your cookies at home rather than to buy the gluten-free cookies in the store, because the ones in the store are loaded with a bunch of junk. You know, at least we know what is in this cookie. We can pronounce everything that's in this cookie.
Okay, so you want to just make sure that this is thoroughly mixed. You want to make sure all the oil and the flour is mixed together.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do, The original recipe said to take the dough as it is now and put it in the refrigerator and thoroughly chill it. I have found that this is a really good temperature to roll the dough. So instead of waiting until it's totally chilled, I take my scoop and I pre-form the cookies. So I have my trusty little scooper here, and I'm just going to press these in here so that we get a uniform size. Put them on your cookie sheet. Now after you get a few of these done, I usually will take these, toss them in the sugar.
Now, if I did not put these and chill them first and I just threw them in the oven right away, what would happen?
They would totally flatten like pancakes.
Oh, okay.
So you want to make sure that this dough is totally chilled before you bake them.
Okay.
We're getting these put on the cookie sheet. You can see that they're very close together. It doesn't matter. We're not going to bake these right away. These have to go into the refrigerator to chill. Now, if you have time, you want to make your batch of cookies when you've got some downtime, you can form them, put them in a bowl after they've chilled, pop them in the freezer, and then when you have time, you can just turn your oven on, pop these on your cookie sheet, and you're good to go. These I did at the beginning of the week, and they're all ready to go. These will keep for a long time in your freezer this way. If you have cookies that you have frozen, bring them out, put them on your cookie sheet, let them set at room temperature 10 to 15 minutes before you put them in your oven. And you're going to be baking these 8 to 10 minutes at 350. Okay, so here's our taste testers. On the plate we have a regular recipe, the original. The other recipe is made with half sugar, half the Truvia or the Swerve, with gluten-free flour and regular shortening. The other one is the regular sugar with Swerve and gluten-free. They're all gluten-free. Well, 2 of them are gluten-free. So taste them, see what you think, and
I know that's the regular one. So.
We'll go from there.
Yeah. Okay.
You want a cookie too?
Let's see.
The object is to taste one and then to taste the other one and see what we like. Oh, see if we can taste the difference.
Is it yummy?
Okay, so I just tasted that one.
You like that one? Take a bite, but don't eat the whole thing.
Too bad we didn't have something to cleanse our palate. A little glass of water or something.
Sure about my coffee.
Okay.
And you're going to notice that the texture's a little bit different on some of them. So you'll just have to see which one, if you like them all, then it would be easy to choose.
Okay, the original though.
Oh.
I mean, come on.
Well, come on.
This is the best part.
Right? Oh my gosh. They taste very, very similar. You like that one?
Yeah, other than the original would be the best.
Well,
but
sure. Okay.
But they're very close in tasting.
Okay.
What do you
So,
think, Mr. Director?
Opa, what do you think?
I'll go with this one.
Oh, interesting. Now,
I
they
like
all like that one. This is the one that I thought looked a little drier, which we could take the time down a little bit. That one is made with the coconut oil, all sugar, and gluten-free flour.
Okay.
It had all the sugar in
You
it.
can taste the coconut.
I actually like this one, but I mean they taste. It's hard really to choose because they all taste very
Right.
similar.
I'm just gonna have the original.
But this
again.
one I like. Whatever. Of course you are.
Okay, the one, Melissa did like this one. This was half sugar, half Truvia.
Okay.
Used the Crisco with the gluten-free flour.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I mean, the Crisco now is made with zero trans fat, so
All right.
you can choose whichever you like.
Okay.
So,
Great.
Well, the short of the
that.
story is here. These are healthy cookies, but again, they are full of sugar and good things and oils and all that fun stuff.
moderation.
Yes, moderation is the key. These are super yummy. You guys, give it a try. See what you think. And this is just part 1. We got another part of making cookies coming up at
Oh,
you.
yeah.
So you better stay tuned for that.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, you guys have a good one. Bye.